Hello! Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to test the audio and get into it. Oh no, I'm hungry. Nom nom nom. Eat the plant. Eat the plant. There we go. Let's go see if we can find some friends. Let's get to a beautiful place and test the audio. There, now we're running. Yeah, jump. There we go. Can I swim? Let's see. Ooh, it's a good swimmer. Wonder if that's accurate. I don't know if Dinosaurs can swim good or not. It'd probably be like close to like a hippo size, maybe a little bit bigger. We shall see. Right now, I'm going to test my audio, make sure everything's fantastical. Let's see. Okay, then good. Hello. And pin. Okay. Yep. And I'm titling this Talk About Dinosaurs in the Bible. Because I believe God made everything, includes the dinosaurs. And he should get credit for what he did. Let's talk with something. We're not gonna have like a strict code of how we're gonna handle this. We're just gonna do it till I get bored. Okay, let's point out one thing. This is the Kitchosaurus, so it's the prickle lizard. So it is heavily armored. Make sure I'm getting feedback. Give me a moment. Okay, it's the prickle lizard. It's covered in horns. There are many animals that God made that have horns, antlers, and other sharp, pointy things. And they don't even need them to fight stuff with, other than mating or protecting themselves from predators. It's like there's a bunch of things that just like the horns communicate to the predators. Just leave me alone and let me eat my grass. You don't need horns to eat grass, but they help do that. And it's like God prepared the world because he knew that man would fall, but he still gave him the choice to not do it anyway. And I believe that speaks to God's character when it comes to like preparing for the end of the world, because he knew the choices people would make, but he still let them make the choices anyway, because he wants his children to have the chance to do the right thing. And whatever chances he's given you, he knows the outcome, but he's still going to give you the chance too. So I hope you choose wisely today. Yeah, when it comes to the horns and stuff, I think it's neat because he was preparing for a fallen world that was going to come, which is a sad thing. Because in the beginning, everything was good. The Kitchosaurus, you ever seen, there's an image from a book called Dinotopia. I think it's the second book, because it's a series. James Gurney did it, and then some other people took it over. It's the whole thing. But there's a picture of them like selling like circle donut shaped bread on like a Kitchosaurus. They would like loop it around the shoulder spike and the tail spikes and stuff like that. Just hook them full of donuts. And I love that image. I think that's funny. They used for dinosaurs before the flood. But yeah, like what combat uses could it be for all the spikes on the Kentrosaurus? Just a thought. Let's see now. What else can we talk about? Polystrate fossils. That's kind of like a thing that people don't talk about all the time. Is that in the books that you read when you go through high school, middle school, and all that stuff, they tell you that the layers of the earth are millions of years old. It's like, well, sometimes we find like trees like through all the layers, which is kind of weird. Nothing that points to a global flood. But that's just my opinion. You can have your own. Leave it in the comments. But I think God should get the credit for his creation. And people should know the flood did happen, because if God's the creator, he made everything, he's the biggest, smartest, strongest, and he owns it, and he has the right to judge it. And there's a lot of people that don't like that idea. Not just that there's a God that's bigger than them, but that there is a possibility of a judgment. And they don't like that idea. As well as the only way to escape the judgment is through Jesus, accepting his sacrifice, and let that be applied to your account. And that's the thing that you should preach. If there's a preacher who preaches anything other than Jesus and him crucified for your salvation, they are not Christians. That is the main goal of teaching in Christianity, is to let them know that, like, the world was perfect, but then man let sin into his heart, trying to define his own way, not go by what God said was good. And now we have to get right with God through his forgiveness. It's like, if you look at it, we were mean to God, so we have to let him set the terms of the forgiveness. And I think it's great that he came and he died for us. And it's like, I hate what you did, I really do, but I'll take it upon me, be the bigger person, just admit you're sorry, and we get back together. And there's so many people that won't humble themselves. Their personality is more prickly than a Kentrosaurus. So don't be like that. Don't have a hard, prickly heart. And another thing about that is, there's some Christians that are just like ruthless to a ridiculous degree as well. That's the whole point of the story of Jonah, is that he was one of God's people. He was a prophet. Yet, when it came time to do his job and go tell people who hadn't heard about hadn't heard about God and his love, he was supposed to go to Nineveh and he ran away. He didn't care. He wanted those people to die. That's a horrible thing. And the dryers went off. But Jonah was a prophet, but he never really got it. Sad but true. But I think God should get credit for his creation, and we are his creation. So we should humble ourselves and know who our God is and act like it. Because like all the stuff in the game is made by a designer, but if you say that about the real world, people act like it's a conspiracy theory. But it isn't. There is a grand designer. I think the trees in the real world look a lot better than the trees here. And I think the dinosaurs in this game probably look a lot better in real life, if we could see one, than they would look in the game. I think that all the beautiful designs and all the complexities of it all, it's like the idea of photosynthesis, and symbiotic species and cells and just the intelligence behind it all. Like, let's try to think. This is a bush. Okay, this is not a real bush. As you can see, there's nothing underneath it. But in real life, bushes, they grow about everywhere. The reproduction is crazy. As well as just the structure of it being perfectly made to capture light from the sun. Let's see now. Test my audio. Okay. But the chlorophyll and the ability for it to feed itself, and the fact that it takes in what we breathe out and breathes out the stuff that we breathe in, and it's a cycle that just continues and continues. And there's some bushes that make berries, and there's some bushes that are good for medicine. It's just like, it's a wonderful, weird world we live in. But now, sadly, it has thorns, like the prickly lizard that we have here. And that was part of the fall. That the world became a lot more dangerous, a lot less safe than it used to be. That's the sad thing. It's like people can love nature, but it's still dangerous. At the end of the day, you can't go up and hug a grizzly bear. That's today's PSA. Do not hug bears. But like, for real though, it's like there's such a bunch of beauty and wonder in the world that, like, there is some things that are still good in this world. But you gotta understand that it's a fallen world. And that's why I think some of the dinosaurs went extinct and some of the other things went extinct. Because the world's fallen, it's not perfect anymore. Animals can come and go, and that's a sad thing. Like, not just a dodo, there's like, I think they call them tree lobsters. Those things, they almost died off when they came back. These giant grasshoppers. This bunch of weird, wonderful things. Is there anyone else on this server? I swear. I'm kidding, that's not a problem. But, I thought there's supposed to be more people on this server. I'm trying to remember. I think I got turned around a little bit. Let's see if I remember how to get there. Okay, there's the red trees. So I think if there's a cave nearby. I'm trying to remember how to get there. I think this is it. The path to get to where all the people are. But just the designings of animals and just looking at the bones. That's why dinosaurs are amazing. Use your imagination because we don't have complete fossils. There they are. But we don't have a complete skin of all the dinosaurs and stuff like that. So we have to have an imagination of what they were to put together, what they were put together completely. Because skin is an amazing organ. Pardon me. Your skin is the biggest organ of your body. And God put stuff in to protect us from the sun. He gave it where when our skin gets damaged, it grows back a little bit. See, machines, to my knowledge, we don't have skin that grows back yet, built up from scratch. We have to use cells from animals and stuff. And everything you eat is made out of cells, unless you count salt, but you can't live off salt. But any kind of food that you eat is made out of cells and has DNA inside of it. Which is another amazing thing, is that God was smart enough to make it where everything has similar DNA, because if you didn't, we would only be able to eat other people, and that would be a problem. Let's see now. Let's rest, recover some stamina, watch these people fight each other. See, follow man. They're all fighting each other down there. See, you gotta wonder, Adam and Eve, when God skinned that first animal when he kicked him out. That had to have traumatized him a little bit because they'd never seen anything die before. It's it's skin, it's didn't take it off, no. And that's another thing I'm just thinking about is God's idea of modesty versus your idea of modesty, because they made aprons out of fig leaves. He made them coats. So it's what you think you need to cover up is different from what God thinks you need to cover up. But yeah, that's about it. I just think the natural creation of the world is amazing. From atoms to make up molecules, to make up the things we got, like water. And water itself is amazing as well. The fact that it freezes and ice floats is amazing. Because if it froze and sunk to the bottom, eventually it would freeze the whole lake solid and we couldn't have fish. Or we couldn't have fish in lakes. No lake fish. That would be terrible. But yeah, it's just all the chemical reactions, laws of physics, and everything working together to make this weird, wonderful world that we got. And I think God should get the credit for it. That's just my opinion of it. Look at this giant sleeping blueberry. What you want? Don't bother me. Don't do it. Okay. Purple. Anyway. Oh, these guys are fishing. See? Yeah, that's about it. I'm about running dry. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, it's okay. Collecting this. But I want you to just have a little bit of appreciation, though, about what God has made. Because He made you, and I want you to understand that there is a God. He is real. He does care about you. And there is an eternity either with Him or without Him. I want you to be with Him. That's my main goal. I don't plan on doing anything else other than trying to tell you about salvation, because, well, there's a bunch of other people that get all sorts of weird ideas in their head when they talk about other things other than salvation, which is the point of the gospel. This good news of Jesus Christ is that the world is falling apart, Animals eat each other all the time now. See? I have these cartoon violence because this is YouTube. And they don't want real violence. And I don't want real violence on this channel either. But it's like, now it's in the world. So, but we're not on a sinking ship without any lifeboats. There is hope. It's the way, the truth, and the life, Jesus Christ. And I want you to know about that. You are loved, and you matter. Let's go save this guy. Come here, you. Come here, you. Yeah, you better run. Leave them alone. Okay. Eat these berries. Watch more violence unfold. That's probably going to be about it for this stream. Hope you have a nice day. God bless you, and goodbye.